Okay, I'm gonna put it on now. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I have a sewing pattern review. I have recently discovered this amazing, creative, so talented person on YouTube. I'm guessing her name's Tracy. I hope it is. Here's a little thumbnail. This is Transformations by Tracy. Once I discovered her, I fell in love with this particular top. I don't know why, I just can't stop thinking about it, and so I bought the pattern and I want to review it. And I hope this goes well because I wouldn't want to say anything like overly critical about a creator, a fellow creator, but I have confidence this will go well. I think it will be just fine, actually. If you like sewing and thrift flips and things like that, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And if you're like me and you like sewing so much just so you can forget about your feelings and be distracted by the chaos that is your life, then like this video, because that's what I'll be doing today. I have printed out the pattern here. There is nothing to do but to get started. So let's transition on over to sewing, Brittany.
So, ironically, the part that should be the easiest, I made very difficult. I made this about as complicated as my relationship with my mother is. In my defense, there weren't any reference points for matching up these pages, so it was a little difficult, but I made it work. There were literally only 8 pages. I don't know why I made it so difficult. This piece in particular kept pissing me off. Nope, didn't go there. Try again. Does it go? Nope, don't know yet. Just put it back. This goes over here. Nope. This goes over here. And scooch everything. And now this finally has a home.
I could have easily referenced the digital files. There's like one particular page provided that shows the layout of everything, but I'm lazy and didn't want to get up and walk back and forth to my office. That's on me. However, some of these pages are numbered and some are not. So it did make it a little confusing, but there's only 8 pages, so I figured it out.
Next, I taped all the papers, which I've never seen a pattern where the edges didn't overlap. I love that because I hate it when they do that. Then I cut out all 4 pattern pieces. Snippety dippity doo. I don't know why I said that. Then I threw my paper scraps in this pile because I'm hesitant to waste any scraps that I could use for pattern drafting, so they just sit there. Then it was time to select a fabric combo. I thought I was going to go with the pink tie-dye. I pictured it in my head, but then when I looked at it, I hated it. So I decided to go with white on white, and in retrospect, I'm glad I did. It was the perfect choice. Miss Tie-dye is for another day.
I also noticed that the seam allowance for this is 1/4 inch. And that means I have to be real careful. No pressure. I can't make any mistakes, yeah.
Next, it was time to cut all the pieces out, and I refused to buy pattern weights. I mean, I can't use the crushing weight of my negative self-esteem, so I guess tape will do. I had to get a little fancy with one piece. I ended up stitching 2 remnants of the lace together and just treated that seam like the fold, and it worked out fine. Next, it was time to flatline the upper pieces, and I chose not to resuscitate. Here's a little ASMR for you. Or ASMR as the kids call it. So once my upper pieces were flatlined, which consisted of the upper back here and the 2 front upper pieces, it was time to do the shoulder seams. And I chose to do this on my serger. Tracy says in her instructional video that that's not required, you can use your sewing machine, but alas, that's what I did. And again, this is an optional step, she said, but I went ahead and serged the outside perimeter of those upper pieces that I just showed. Next, it is time to do the hem on said perimeter. That's not a hem, Brittany. What are you talking about? Don't go hemming and hawing at me. Okay. This is a finished edge, Brittany. That's what it is. So I'm finishing the edge of the neckline. Then I made a couple of drawstrings. I'll talk about this at the end of the video, but if you're gonna make your drawstrings from scratch, do a zigzag stitch and not a straight stitch. I'll talk about that later. Doing the casing for said drawstrings and doing the classic safety pin little trick and pulling the drawstrings through. And looky here, folks, we're getting ourselves a little garment. The next step is to attach the lower back to the upper back. I chose to serge this. She said that's optional, but she did say it does need to stretch here. So if you're going to do it on your sewing machine, do a zigzag stitch here. Next, this is where I strayed from the instructions a little bit. Due to this bulk right here where I'm pointing, I was doubtful my sewing machine would be able to get over all that bulk, which is what she said to do. She did a lapped seam here. I chose to forego this step and instead I just did a serge here. It was easier and I was very confident the serger would be able to get over that bulk. And ta-da! Here it is, folks. Okay, we are on to the side seams. She gave a couple options for like how high of a slit you could do. I wanted to go with her recommendation of 4 inches from the bottom. So I am measuring, did I do 5? Oh no, thank God. That would have been so embarrassing. I did 4 inches from the bottom, marked it with a little pin there, and then I did my side stitch. I wanted to point out here, if you're doing just lace, it can be a little finicky to sew on just the lace areas. Like especially here when I start going on the slit, my machine was getting a little bothered with this. So just keep an eye out for that.
Okay, I'm gonna put it on now. Okay, I finished it and I didn't want to try it on till it was completely done because I want to give y'all a blind reaction. So let me put this on real quick. Don't look. Okay, are we ready? Okay. Oh my gosh, my boobies are out. My husband will not mind that. This is so cute. This is so cute. This is so cute. I don't like the way I have it styled now. Let me find something better to wear. Oh, sorry, honey. Okay, what do we think of this? Yes, much better. I love this. This is like my new favorite shirt. My boobs are out. I know, I look like a hoe, but I don't mind. I don't mind at all. Sometimes you just gotta look like a hoe. So let's talk, I can't stop looking at myself. This is so cute. Let's talk pattern review, okay? Because that's the purpose of this, right? Difficulty, I would say on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the most difficult, I would say this is, it's a good beginner project, but it's a frustrating beginner project. Because, like, if you try to do something like this with the lace on the bottom, like, I'm a pretty experienced sewer, and even I was having a hard time manipulating such a thin, delicate fabric. Like, it kept wanting to get sucked into my machine, so I know this would be frustrating for a beginner, but a patient beginner, I feel like could do this. So for difficulty, I can't remember what I said, like 2 to 3 out of 5. I feel like an experienced beginner would like this. Let's talk about instructions, so clarity of instructions. There were not instructions provided on the printed pattern. Like, I know it's a digital download, but when you print it out, there's nothing printed out as far as instructions. It directs you to the YouTube video, which is great. So you have a visual representation of what you need to do. But unless I missed it, and I could be wrong, I will go back and review. But there were a couple things I got confused on. Like, I didn't know how long the drawstrings were supposed to be. That was one thing. I just kind of had to guess. As far as everything else, instructions were super clear. I followed it to a T, except for the seam under the bust, because she did this lapped seam. I chose not to do that. The reason is because I wasn't confident that my sewing machine would be able to go over this thickness with the drawstrings. I thought it would be too much, so I decided to just serge this hem, and it went great. Which, by the way, I saw a review on her Etsy shop that said, like, it said something like this is a very serger dependent pattern, and I hate to say this, but I kind of agree with that. Like, you can do it with the sewing machine, but I would have been a lot more frustrated if I had to do this on just a sewing machine. Oh my god, my cat. Okay, you can sit there. She, in the video, she utilized a pre-constructed part of the garment she was recycling to make her drawstrings, so I also had to kind of go on my own there. And what I ended up doing was I just cut out long strips of fabric, and I used my sewing machine to just do a straight stitch. In retrospect, I should have done a zigzag stitch because these need to stretch, right? You're pulling on them and tying them. I mean, I feel like these will stay mostly in this bow forever. But But hi, Amy. That's just something I wanted to call out. So if you're also having to make your own drawstrings completely from scratch, do a zigzag stitch instead of a straight stitch. Yeah, that'll save you some time there. I was a little worried that like any hem or any of these outer seams would be kind of wobbly looking, because when I laid them flat down they did look a little wobbly, but now that it's on and it's stretching out to my body, it looks great. As far as how much I like the final product, 5 stars. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's gonna be one of my new favorite tops for the summer. I got to recycle clothes. I got the lace shirt at a yard sale for like $1, and then I got the base lining layer for 25 cents at the thrift store the other day. I got a new top for like less than 10 bucks with the pattern price included. That's awesome. And I got to increase my sewing skills, and I got to make something new that I've never had something like this in my wardrobe. I love this. So that's it for me. Yeah, I really enjoyed this project. Tracy, you did a really good job. I don't know if you'll ever see this, but this is super cute. I have that tie-dye pink shirt that I'm probably gonna do this with as well. Thank you for watching. If you like this content and you wanna see more, make sure to subscribe and like this video. Turn on the notifications bell if you wanna be notified when I do have a new upload. So with that being said, I think that's it. Thank you for watching.